Hey everyone, it's Thursday, March 26th, and I just woke up this morning thinking this verse. This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. And there's lots of reasons to complain and to be worried and to be frightened. But as people of faith, which is what we are, we're a community of faith. Let's rejoice today. Let's rejoice and be glad. We don't know what tomorrow holds. All we have is today. And today, Jesus is with us. And today, we have time to think about Him, think about those that we love, to invest in them, to enjoy a good meal, to enjoy some quiet time, to enjoy whatever God puts in our path for us to experience. So let us rejoice and be glad today. I get to talk to a couple more elders today, Brian Engel and Chris Lewis. And I'm looking forward to hear how they're doing today. So let's check in with them. All right. Hey, good day, Brian and Chris. Good to see you guys today. Thanks for taking the time to talk with me.
No problem.
You're welcome. You bet.
Chris is on a bit of a delay. That's okay. It gives people a chance if you want to run and grab a coffee after I ask a question. Then thanks you guys for doing this. How's so you're at the shop there, Brian? I see behind you, and
yeah.
And how's this whole thing? You're a business owner. Tell me a little bit of what you do.
We have a landscaping and construction company in town here, and most of our work's on the lake. We do lakefront properties for the majority of the summer, a little bit through the winter too. But yeah, it's definitely causing a bit of a delay for us. A bunch of our projects have already currently been delayed, just due to the fact that they want us to isolate and not be on these sites. So we'll see what happens. It's anybody's guess at this point. But it's actually, we've been very encouraged still through all this. And yeah, we're just taking it in stride.
That's good. That's good. How about you, Chris? How's this hitting you?
Well, yeah, I'm without work right now. It's been about 10 days since they told me not to come back to my job. I'm a property inspector, and I also work part-time for a fire protection company out at Nova. And so Nova has basically excluded all non-essential personnel right now from the plant at Joffrey. So yeah, it's definitely affecting me that way. But you know, there's always positives in adversity as well. And so my wife and I are trying to find those and pick them out.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what we got to do, right? It's all how we can't, and this sounds a little pithy, but you can't choose your circumstances. You can choose your attitude in your circumstances. And it's true. And that is just it can be so difficult. And there's probably some days are better than others, I would think, right? Some days I'm real good at thinking, we can make the best of this. And other days it's like, oh, brother, this is not a good day. How about, so as you guys are seeking Jesus, you love Jesus, what's he been saying to you these days, Chris?
Well, it's been interesting because I think through the last couple of weeks, my wife Laura Lee kind of got a cold a couple of weeks ago and a little bit of a flu and was kind of feeling under the weather. So we've been sort of trying to get her back healthy and just a little bit of concern as to what it actually was, and it's just a common cold and flu, which is fine. But over the last couple of weeks, it's really just caused us to look to God, and the things that we've kind of been surviving on are, she's really felt to choose joy and to use that as her mantra, and it's been good. She's been searching Bible verses and trying to, just really look at the situation and choose joy in the midst of the adversity. So that's kind of one thing. The second thing that we've noticed is that we have a gift of time right now to do things that we maybe wouldn't normally do. And so that's a positive, to spend a little more time together, do more devotions, to look into the Word of God and dig a little bit deeper there, which is beneficial. So those are two things for sure that we feel God's been impressing upon us. And then the third thing is just that He's in control, and no matter what we try to do, in a week, the world can turn upside down. And that has been just a huge revelation and given us huge hope to just be able to, recognize and realize that He is ultimately in control. We really don't have a whole lot of our destiny in our own hands. It is God's plan. And we're just relying and hoping and trusting in that. So those are three things that we really feel He's been impressing on us the last couple of weeks.
That's awesome, man. That's great. How about you, Brian? What's Jesus saying to you?
It's been kind of unbelievable, actually, just the atmosphere we've had in our house since this. And we've decided to choose joy in the situation. And it causes or creates perseverance, is what the word says. And perseverance doesn't suggest that it's going to be easy, right? It's going to be a battle. It's going to be a challenge, but we're to take joy in that. And we've chosen that as well. There is respect for the situation, though. And one thing that we have found with our children is that they will reflect your attitudes, and they will, if you're worried and you're concerned, that will come across in them. They'll be anxious children, anxious parents, right? So we're trying to be mindful of that and show them how our reliance on God will get us through this, and try to emulate Christ through this and lean on Him. And it's been great, to be honest. We've had the time to be with our children, to play games at night, to read devotions in the morning, to do all that when it's been very hectic for us, the last 10, 12 years with raising kids. And that seems now they're never all in the house all at once until everything's canceled, right? So
you realize just how busy you are. Yeah.
And we're taking joy in that, and we're grateful for that. And God is showing us many, many things through this, and patience will be one that everybody's going to have to develop here, I think, over the next little while. But yeah, we're looking forward to it, to be honest.
Cool. Now, you guys, you serve in lots of ways at the church. You guys you're pretty familiar faces, I think, around the church. And maybe not everybody knew you were elders. I'm sure grateful for you. I love serving with you. I love our friendship, our relationship, and our ministry partnership. It means a lot to me. As you guys think of you wearing that elder's hat, you're both wearing hats today. Way to go. Shoot, I should have wore a hat. Anyway, as you wear that elders thinking, what is it? How do you feel? What do you feel God has to say to the church these days, Brian?
Yeah, well, we've thought about that a fair bit and talked about it, Pam and I. And I think that moving forward, there's going to be lots of opportunities to help the community, help each other. And even Chris and I were talking yesterday and just mentioning the fact of, what do you do if you don't have a community like we have in our church? And I think there's going to be lots of ways that we can help out, serve people, kind of lead people to Christ through this. However, it's you have to know your limits as well, right? Yeah. So we have to be prepared for that, seek the will of God, so we know where He would have us and where we're going to be most effective. Yeah. And I think that we just prepare ourselves for that, and just we need His wisdom. We need to ask for that, and He'll lead us where He wants us. So we have to just be willing to follow.
How about you, Chris?
Yeah, I think along the same lines as Brian, our community is definitely going to be needing strong leadership and an example of sanity, and an example of love, and an example of being a solid citizen in some uncertain times. And I think, for the church body, it's really important that, we are showing that light to our community in whatever way we can, whether it's patients at the gas station or at the grocery store or whatever it might be. When you need to interact, do it in the proper way. And when you are, feeling pressure and stress and things maybe are adding up that, just are making you feel a little bit uncertain, I think that's a great opportunity just to look to the Lord and ask for his guidance and leadership. And as we do that as a church, not only are we going to look after our church community and our friends and our relationships within the church, but that will be a shining example to people that don't go to church and who don't have hope and who don't have anything else to rely on at this time. So I really feel like, for our church body, we're already known as a community church, the people that, claim to be that. And here's a great opportunity for us to really show that and shine in our community and just be a great leadership example to others.
Yeah. Oh, that's beauty. That's awesome. And an opportunity. I love what you guys are saying. Choose joy is a big thing. Look for the things to be thankful for. And there are lots of them in the midst of this. Don't be afraid. And then how can we be a light in our community? So those are excellent things to say. And you guys live that. And I want our whole church to look just like that too. So thanks a lot for your time today, you guys. Really appreciate it. I know you probably got things to do. And so we will see you or not see you soon,
Okay. Love you, brother. Love you, Brian.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Okay. See you later.
Talk to you later. Bye.
All right.
Oh, man, I love that, eh? Choose joy. What a great thought for the day, to choose joy and to look for the silver linings, to look for the things we can be thankful for, to enjoy the time we have with each other. It's just, man, those are great words. And I want to do that today. I want to choose joy in everything today, and looking forward to what God has for us. Praying for you guys. And if there's any concerns you have, any needs you have, please contact the church or go online to alliancecommunity.ca, and there's a place there where you can just click on that. You need help. We'd love to help. Also, there's a place there where you can say, I'd like to help. And please click on that if you'd like to serve in some way. We're we're talking with Brian and Chris. We don't know what's coming up here in the next little while. And there's a good chance it's going to get a lot worse, and people are going to be in a lot more need. And I want us to be ready and prepared to help them. And I love doing that with you. You guys are a great team.